Everybody, welcome to this beautiful video. In this video, we're going to talk client acquisition. I have signed more than 350 high-ticket clients in the last 4 years with my company. I've been in this industry for quite a while. I know what works and what doesn't. And so in this video, I just put down my thoughts in this little notebook of mine, and I'm going to break down specifically what it takes to actually sign these clients that make you more than $10,000 in a month per client. And so this is going to be a very valuable video to you if you're running an agency, whether you call yourself a shadow operator, growth operator, info agency, whether you call it a marketing agency, whether you call it an AI agency, a sales agency, it's all the same thing. Client acquisition works the exact same for all of them, including info products, right? If you're running a coaching, a consulting business, a community, a course, it is all the exact same thing. And there's no fundamental difference in how you market for these types of companies. So I have my thoughts in this book that are the main takeaways that I've had over the last 4 years of, growing this company to the level that I was just referring to. And we're going to dive into all of these in this video. So let me just open up my notebook real quick. The first thing that I want to say just before we jump into anything else is that there is no simple way to acquire high-level clients predictably every week and make a ton of money, because by the nature of it being hard to make a ton of money, it isn't going to be easy to sign these clients, right? But through this video, I'm going to make it the easiest it's ever been, and I'm going to make it as simple and fast as possible for you to be able to do, so you can get maximum outsized returns with minimal inputs and time commitment. So that is that. Now, what are we actually going to go over? The first thing that I want to go over that is super important is going to be inbound, specifically organic inbound acquisition. The system that I've been using with everybody I've been working with to achieve the results that we've achieved is called Inbound Acquisition Engine. And the way it works is really simple. We have 3 steps to the process. The first step is we establish the organic infrastructure, right? Meaning we build the profiles on Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn for those profiles to be converting to our ideal client profile. As soon as that's done, we put our sales systems on top so we have consistent lead flow as well as sales coming in. And as soon as we have that proof of concept, we then put oil onto that fire and scale with paid ads. Now, why am I talking about this in the first place? It's because you need to understand one thing. The reason people sign with you is because of the perception that they have of you as the service provider. No one is ever going to pay you money, and a lot of it, unless they see you as an authority at that one single vertical that they need help with to actually grow and scale their company fast. And so if you're building your company purely on cold outbound, right? Cold outbound, cold outreach infrastructure, you're gonna have a very hard time competing. Because if you look at, for example, my Instagram profile right now, I have 5,000 followers on IG, which is by no means a lot of followers, but it's more than most people in this industry have. If I reach out to someone and you reach out to someone and both of us have the exact same outreach opener, the exact same messaging, everything stays the exact same. The only thing that's different is the actual profile it's being sent from. I can guarantee you 95 out of 100 people are going to reply to me, not you. And that's just because of the profile. The profiles you have matter a lot. And even if you call yourself a shadow operator or whatever you want to frame it as, you're going to struggle a ton if you don't put yourself as well as your face out there. You need to show people that you're a trustworthy individual. People don't work with companies, people work with people. Even at the highest level, if $2 billion companies merge and they, for example, give the actual contract to JP Morgan to oversee the transaction, they're still going to give it to JP Morgan because the CEOs or the C-suite of those companies have the best relationship with that specific banker at JP Morgan. Not because JP Morgan has a lot of prestige or it's a great company. There are other competitors in the market with the same level of prestige and the same level of scale. And so it is a relationship game at every level of business, okay? These relationships you can build in an asymmetrical way through putting your face out there. You don't have to become an influencer. You don't have to post videos dancing on TikTok. You don't have to push out stuff that gets views for the sake of it. I don't want to be known. I don't want to be famous. I just want my companies and my clients and everybody around me to do well and be financially free and make a lot of money. And so for that reason, I'm optimizing my funnel to reach the exact right people at the right time so we can make money through that. And I've had that with a ton of different people, right? Last year, we had Benjamin, for example, go from literally zero to $50,000 a month in profit within like 3 months, just because 1.5 weeks in, we acquired a creator as his client that paid him 7.5K upfront plus 15% revenue share. Benjamin prepared that client launch for 2 months, and in the first week after that launch, they made 160 grand in cash profit for that offer. And so he's been making 50K a month from one client ever since. And I have tons of examples like that, but the point of this video is not to shoot a bunch of case studies your way. The point of this video is to make you understand that the perception you create in your viewers, in your followers, in the people that you're doing cold outreach to, in the people that see your ads, in the people that you speak to on the street about your service, the perception you are building of yourself, your company, how competent you are, and what you can do for them determines show rates, close rates, and cash collected. And that, at the end of the day, in a scalable way, determines how fast you can grow and how profitable you can do that. And so your whole company is determined, and your whole company's growth is determined by this perception. So you need to understand how to engineer this perception. It is super, 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 super important. Now that we went through this, I need to talk commitment. I have been speaking to tons of people, probably 10 people every single day over the last 1 to 1.5 weeks. A lot of people applying to get guidance from me, work with me, whatever that may be, to get help on different ends of their marketing and sales processes to be able to acquire more clients and the right clients. And one common pattern that I've noticed amongst the people that I know just aren't going to do well, which is why I decline their application to work with me, is that they don't understand that commitment in business is everything. And I know that this is something that has been said before, so I want to give you a new perspective that is my perspective on this real quick, that's going to change everything for you. If we look at a company as a scalable asset, right? If we compare two companies in the same industry, say there's only two competitors in one industry, business is a competition, right? If one of these competitors is 51% committed to growing the company and the other competitor is 49% committed to growing the company, this competitor, in a fair world would make 51% of the money. But in the world that we live in the real world, in the unfair world, this guy makes 95% of the money and this person makes 5% of the money and tries to get the last couple of scratches. And so even if you're just a slight bit more committed than the competition, you're already going to get outsized returns just based on how markets and businesses work. And so commitment is everything. If you're not willing to commit with all of your time, all of your money, all of your energy, and all of your effort, and all of your focus, and all of your network, and every single thing you have at your disposal to this, you will lose. And it's better that you quit now than later, because otherwise you're just going to waste your time. So that is something that I wanted to talk about on the commitment standpoint real quick. So again, to go through things and reiterate the points that I made so far real quick. Number 1, perception is everything. You have to put your face out there. Number 2, commitment is everything. Without the right commitment, you're not going to be able to do well in any business model whatsoever, point blank. It doesn't matter what you do, whether you call yourself a shadow operator or a growth operator, or you call yourself an AI agency or a marketing agency or a sales agency, or you call yourself a coach or consultant. And by the way, the actual differences between all of these models are very fluid. It's not one or the other, because if you have a client as a shadow operator, technically you're a marketing agency because you're doing a bunch of marketing for them, partly. Technically you're a consultant because you consult your clients as well on how to make more money. There's a lot this ties into, right? But that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is getting to understand how you can actually make more money. Another big part of that, especially when you're starting out, is understanding how cold outreach actually works. Now, with cold outreach, the problem is that because the market shifts and changes so fast, the things that worked for weeks ago don't work anymore. The only way you're going to be able to actually make money in this market is if you have an edge over the competition. You have something that's currently working that they don't have yet. You're one of the first movers. Being a first mover means you have information and you have access to stuff as one of the first people. You're never going to be able to do that not committing with your money, okay? The reason the people we work with get such great results is because we have a lot of data across all of the portfolio companies and the clients that we're working with, so we know what works, and we know what works right now in this exact moment. That is super important for you to understand. And one thing you have to understand as well here is that you cannot charge what you haven't paid for before. If you're trying to charge your clients or make $10,000 per month per client, you cannot get there unless you have paid someone $10,000 a month before, because otherwise you're never going to understand why someone would commit to that. Think about this for a second. If you're trying to have someone pay X amount and you're not willing to pay X amount yourself for services, that means you don't truly see the value and see how that makes sense. But if you wouldn't even do it yourself, how could you ever get someone else to commit to it? Subconsciously, you wouldn't, and that is why no one closes on your sales calls. As you can see, based on everything I'm speaking about, I could talk about this for like 2-3 hours straight. There is so much nuance that ties into building and growing a successful company, and way more than one YouTube video can explain. But I hope that this video gave you the perspective shift that you needed to understand you're growing a proper company and trying to build and bootstrap a company from scratch, which is going to take intensity, commitment, and it's going to take effort. The payout on the other side can be very big, but you have to be committed to it, otherwise you're not going to get there. And that is super important. Commitment means doing what's needed right now proactively without you needing to do it in the moment. What I mean by that is that life is always going to throw roadblocks in your way of getting to where you want to be. Just because there's roadblocks in the way of, getting to where you want to be doesn't mean you should stop and wait until they're gone, because I can guarantee you, if you tell yourself, oh, right now is not the time because of X, Y, and Z, well, in a couple of weeks, there's going to be something else that comes up, and you know it and I know it. And so if you think about it, it is actually completely irrelevant what's going on in your life right now. You need urgency behind the actions you need to take to get to where you want to be, and you need to be patient with the result out of those actions. And if you can pull that off and in this moment right now, commit to what you need to do, you're going to see the utmost success with it. So that was just a couple of the thoughts that I wanted to share real quick. As I said, I wanted this to be a super raw video. I'm at the office right now. I'm working all day basically today. Today's Saturday. It's 37 degrees Celsius outside in Munich. So it's good that I'm in the office and I'm able to, have some actual fresh and then cold air. So that's it for the video. Bit more raw video, raw style. I wanted to share some thoughts. If you like these types of videos, obviously leave a like and let me know in the comments if you have any questions. You can find my IG down below if you need any help on any end. Happy to have a chat, and I'll see you guys in the next video.